Hello, everybody. How are you? We're here at LAX on President's Day here in the United States. And President's Day is a big day because it's a day off for a lot of people. Not everybody. Not me. I don't take days off. Even when I'm golfing, which is rare these days, that's actually work because it's pain. So it gives me an opportunity to talk about the new series we're starting this week. I'm trying to do a different city every week where I break down the history, the context, the culture of different cities, starting in the United States, but then over time we'll expand to Canada, Mexico, and points international. And it's appropriate that we're here at the airport because this week is a distant city on the other side of the country. And it's Jacksonville, Florida. Now, Jacksonville is an interesting city to me because, of course, we've all known about Jacksonville, but there's so much I don't know about the city. And so by doing the research, exploring the facts and figures, talking to people on the streets, we're going to be able to find out more about this great city and what makes it tick and what it's all about. Now, in this particular video, it's just going to be an intro. That's what we're going to do right now. I'm going to give you the basic broad brushstrokes of how the city started and some of the early days. And of course, like all of these videos, 97% of them, 97.3%. I'm going to make it up off the top of my head. I'm going to make up everything off the top of my head. And the reason I say that up front is because I don't want people getting into a 30-minute video and finding out that I've completely made it all up. Martha, this fella is not giving the straight facts. We've been in Jacksonville our whole life, and he hasn't said one good, true thing. Well, yeah. Anybody can find the true thing. How about making up a funhouse mirror of the true thing? I guess that's the whole idea, is to just goof around and have fun. And hopefully you'll have fun too. But we'll find out. So let's talk about Jacksonville. Let's get it kicked off. Boom. First of all, round of applause for Jacksonville. Very excited. I'm kind of excited about Jacksonville because it's uncharted territory for me. I don't know that much about the city, and we're going to jump right into it. So Jacksonville is, if you think of Florida as a finger or a pistol, some people say pointing toward Texas, with the barrel pointing toward Texas, which is in the middle of the country. Then if you go up in the upper right-hand corner of the pistol, there is Jacksonville. It's not quite on the border of the neighboring state, which I believe is Georgia, but it's just south of there. It's the San Juan River comes right there, meets the Atlantic River right there. And that's how it all started. And we're talking way back, guys. We're talking like the 1500s. I mean, Los Angeles was founded in 1700, and of course there's been natives in here for 6,000 years in this area, Native Americans. But in terms of exploration of the New World, that of course all happened in the Atlantic seaboard first, and up and down that, and so before they came sneaking up the coast to California. So you're talking about Jacksonville's roots going back to the 1500s, which is interesting because Jacksonville is the seat of David Duval County. And David Duval County is named that because, if you don't know, David Duval is a famous golfer, and that's where his family was from. They founded a lot of the area way back in the 1500s. So the Duval family has been instrumental in the growth of Jacksonville since, 1579, right in there. And Jacksonville itself, though, is kind of a conglomerate. Like you might think of a corporation, a big corporation like ITT or one of those as a conglomerate. That's definitely what Jacksonville is as a city. So in other words, the way it grew at different parts of its history, in different parts of its history, was by incorporating other communities. So you had there was so many areas right around there that as Jacksonville itself grew, they incorporated, for example, Bikiniville. They incorporated Sand in My Shortsville. They incorporated Lifeguardville. They incorporated Beach Houseville, which is a little bit farther west of the town center. They incorporated Duvalville. So all these villes have eventually over time became part of the Jacksonville Empire, and hence the name. And then, of course, that's a common pattern in many cities where they incorporate. In fact, if you look at the San Gabriel Valley, many here in LA, which is east of LA, many of the communities became a community. They incorporated as an actual town or community in an effort to stem Los Angeles itself from incorporating their land for tax or water purposes or waste management or whatever it was that LA was trying to, LA was trying to grab from these towns. So, way back in the 1500s, the original Duval clan, they settled in the area, but also so did the Spaniards and the French, and a little later the British came by. But originally it was the Duvals, the Spaniards, and the French. And so the San Juan River runs east-west as it meets the Atlantic Ocean, and the Spaniards, the descendants of Spain or explorers from Spain, settlers really is the word I'm looking for, from Spain, took the north side of the river, just the way it happened, and the French took the south side. And the Duvals worked both sides of the river as they were kind of the mayor of town, really. And they settled a lot of the local disputes, and they started the first legal system in town because everybody looked up to them because of the strong golf game. The Duval family has had a very strong golf game for many, many years. And in fact, to this day, TPC Sawmill is the home of the DPGA, which is the Duval PGA, the Duval Professional Golf Association. Okay, so that's the way it is today. All right, it all evolved from that. And in fact, if you look at the early Spanish ships that came over, those they had the type of sailing ship that was actually a rower, right? So they had oars sticking out the side of the ship. Remember those? And if you look at the early Spanish ships, they were sitting on golf bags. And in many times if the oars broke during times of war, they'd get out the golf clubs and use those as oars. They'd go to a lower deck of the ship and just lean out and use a 9-iron or a wedge as an oar on the ship. So, guys, there's so much we got to cover about this city. This is just a quick intro that gives you a quick snapshot of the beginnings of Jacksonville. We'll get more into the history, more into the early explorers and how it all kind of came about. So come on back, and we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to cover all the sports teams, the celebrities that have come from Jacksonville, things to do, things to see, businesses to avoid, businesses to give them your business, the beaches, the nature of the barrier reefs. Guys, Jacksonville is a hoppin' poppin' place, and we're going to cover it all this week. So come on back. Yo.